Hey everyone, thanks for coming to today's uh, show of Convos with Friends. Today I've got with me Prof. Well, I call him Prof, and people call him some other things. So uh, maybe it's
Well,
best
most
for him.
people call me Prof.
Yeah, okay, most people call you Prof. So maybe you should introduce yourself better for our audience then. So
Okay, which one was the introduction? Should I introduce myself as Prof? Or should I tell you my real name? What do you think?
yeah, you can say your name. I
I
mean,
think I think Prof would
Prof
be
is fine.
nice.
Prof
Prof
is
will
okay.
sound. My name is Ridhwan, actually. My name is Ridhwan Olaoke. Some people call me TJ, some people call me Prof. Some people call me different names. But I'm Ridhwan. That's my name. And yeah, I'm a, I'm a teacher at the university, and I'm also a PhD student, and I'm also a content writer. I write content for tech companies. We try to give them PR. So create stories around tech products, informative articles around blockchain and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's who I am.
So, like, which part do you now focus more on? Like, how are you able to like combine all of them together?
Which part do I feel? Now, I'm a very tricky person. That's the truth. Honestly, when you ask me if what's my career like, or what I mean, what do I do? It's very tricky for me because yes, I spent most of my life in academic, or in academia. I'm gonna graduate my PhD and most probably get a job in lecturing. But is that my career? Is actually is a tricky question to ask because I also do writing, which is somewhat related to academic, but it's not the kind of writing you do for academic. You do academia rather. You do it for marketing. So I also have a flair for marketing because I studied marketing for the most part of my life. So I have a flair for marketing, and and then I found myself. Actually, I found myself writing. I did never thought I was going to have a job as a writer, but I found myself there. I enjoyed it, and I started creating a portfolio around that. So slowly, I'm building a career in content writing, especially in the tech space. I mean, if you told me many years ago, if you asked me many years ago if I was going to be able to write for technology, I would say no way. But now here I am writing about everything blockchain. I'm currently working on the latest upgrade from Ethereum, and so it's tricky to ask me which area am I focused on. I know for a while I have stopped researching in the academia. I mean, trying to publish a paper or stuff like that. I don't have. I just want to graduate my thesis. So for now, I'm focusing on my writing marketing career. If you're talking about it in the marketing area, but I also want to go into psychology. So that's why I said it's quite tricky for me.
Oh, oh, well, so you just want
Yeah,
to do
also,
everything then?
not everything. I think if I had had my way when I was starting early, I probably would have gotten a BSc in psychology and not a BSc in marketing.
Ah,
I think that's what I would have done. So yeah, because I have more interest in how people behave the way they do, or why. I like to always ask why. Why does somebody act this way? So I always want to understand the reasoning behind actions and who makes you inside. So I've always had that interest. So if I had my way, I almost went for masters in psychology, but they weren't offering it at the time. So that's why I just took masters in marketing. Marketing and psychology have very strong similarities because it's an interdisciplinary theme. So marketing borrows a lot of concepts from psychology. So I think that's why I relate with marketing. So if you ask me in marketing, what do I focus more on? It's consumer behavior. Why do consumers behave the way they behave? Or why do they choose things? Or why do they buy things? But I think I still want to cross over proper into psychology or counseling, or I mean something like that later on.
I mean,
Yeah. So
before,
which am I focused on?
yeah, which
Yeah,
one are
go
you
on.
focused on? Like, which one are you actively or more actively involved in? Like, mix.
Current as of now, I'm currently actively involved in writing for blockchain
Okay.
because that's what's bringing in more money. You know what? Sometimes you have to do what brings in more money at the right at that time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's bringing in more money now. So for now, I'm focused more on that, and it helps me to be more versatile. Like anywhere I go to, um, I'm always going to be able to fit in. Do you understand? Because people will always want content creators. They will always want people who could create stories around. I mean, content is the king now. So anywhere I go to, I find myself, even if I don't get a job with a PhD, there's a probability, high probability that I'll get a job in the practical field, creating
Just to
content
cut
and
you
stuff
short,
like
like,
that.
I
Yeah.
hear marketers say this a lot. Like content is king. Like what exactly does that mean? Why that motto? Like what does that mean?
Content is king because listen, Michael, you could be handsome, you could be everything, you could have the best product in the world. If you do not know how to get that product out to somebody and tell them why they need it. If you ask a typical person, why do you if you maybe you produce a water bottle, right? And then you start mentioning things like this water bottle is made of this latex, it is made of this plastic, it is made of this rope. You start talking about all the features of your water bottle. It doesn't make sense. What people want to know is, why do I need this water bottle? What would this water bottle do to me? So if you tell me it's made of latex, what's my business with latex? What I want to know is, how does latex affect me? You understand what I mean? So when you're doing that, you have to be able to create the story, the content that will be more informative to the people listening or to the people you're targeting. So that's why in marketing, creating content is key. Whichever way you want to create it, whether through visual, writing, pictures, whatever it is, you have to be able to communicate. Yeah.
You seem like you have been in this thing for quite some time. Like how long have you been in this content creation?
For content creation, I mean, writing for tech space, I think I've been in it for about 3, 4 years now. Yeah, yeah, 3, 4 years now. Yeah, when I started early. What are we now? This is 2021. So I started early, maybe 2018 or 2017. I'm not really sure about the dates then. Yeah, about 3, 4 years. Yeah, I've been in it. I started early, started learning about the industry, and but if you're asking me how long have I been in marketing, I've been in marketing for way longer than that
Oh, okay,
because I've
okay.
always wanted to ask. I mean, way longer than that. I mean, since
How long?
I've always loved marketing. Since I got admission into undergraduate, I think that was 2007.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, I started my BSc marketing in 2007, and yeah, I started enjoying it. I remember I'd go pick up. There's this guy called Kotler, Philip Kotler. Philip Kotler is one of the marketing authors. So we had this textbook, Principles of Marketing. I remember I'd go to the library and I start reading the textbook like a storybook because I just enjoyed hearing, oh, we were trying to satisfy customers. So since then, I started thinking how to satisfy customers. So I started some businesses of my own. I had my cafe and I applied a lot of marketing
What? You had
gimmicks
your
and it actually
cafe?
worked. Yeah, yeah.
You can't just say that on the
Yeah.
side, like.
Yeah, in Nigeria, I opened
Okay.
an internet cafe.
Uh huh.
I put in a lot of my customer relations skills in there, and it worked because I got a lot of people coming into the cafe because they liked the service. Of course, I delivered the service. The computers were actually fast. The internet provider was awesome, and me being there also had this customer relations that people would say, I want to be there because I like the way I just like you, like because you're always paying attention to the customer and going extra mile for the customer. There's something we call in marketing when you sat when the customer's expectation or when your product meets the customer's expectation, then we say the customer is satisfied. But if your product goes beyond the customer's expectation, then we say they are delighted because that means you're going extra mile for them. And so I did that, and it was awesome. I actually enjoyed the experience. It only closed down because I was going to leave the country and I couldn't find somebody else to run the way I would run it. And yeah, so I just had to close it down.
Then I guess it was a successful business endeavor.
I had my lessons. I had my lessons. It was successful. Yeah, I had my lessons because I had to. There was the part of financial management that I needed to learn. How to manage finances. There were things I didn't plan for that I didn't prepare for. So I think starting that business taught me better. So if I'm going to start a business next, there are so many things I'm going to put on ground and say, "Yay, this has to be on ground. This has to be on ground. This is how you manage your finances." So I think it was a learning curve for me.
That's great. I think later on we'll need to get you in to tell us some more about how to manage finances. But but for now, let's just let's just stay on this career like discussion. Like so,
Hmm.
in your
Yeah.
content creation or your teaching career, like which part of it do you
Hmm.
enjoy the most? I mean, inside the
Oh, I love
career.
teaching. I love teaching.
Okay, but what about teaching do you love?
I just love the fact that I'm able to pass knowledge to people. Oh, I enjoy it. It gives me, I mean, it gives me the vibes, the thrills, because I just like the fact that I can, people are understanding, and I just don't want to teach. It's not about teaching, trying to use big words and make people feel like you know it. No, I'm actually more concerned about, are you getting what I'm saying? Do you understand? I like to connect, like, are you understanding what I'm saying? I would go down to your language just to make sure you're getting it. So I really
So
enjoy it. I
you're
love
basically
teaching a
just
lot.
doing the same thing, like with your content creation and your teaching. You're just
Exactly. Yeah.
communicating to people.
Yeah. Communicating with people, like, do you really understand what we're talking about here? I mean, how can we, although for in the marketing part it becomes even more complex, because you then have to create something called buyer persona. You have to create a buyer persona because they're different audience, they're different people you're trying to, so you have to be able to put yourself in their shoes. What would I do if I was a pregnant woman? You understand? What
Yeah,
would I
yeah.
do if I was a middle-aged man? So you have to create these buyer personas. But typically, yeah, teaching is something I enjoy. I think I'd die teaching.
I mean, you know, usually like before getting into career, we are usually
Hmm.
thinking about the money, like trying to get money. I just want to get some money. Is that has
Mm.
that been the drive for you, like to keep on teaching? Is it whereas the
To
money?
make money, honestly, I'm counterintuitive when it comes to things like this. I honestly do not have a desire to make money from my profession.
Hmm.
I'm being honest.
Okay.
I don't have that. That's not what actually drives me to do stuff. I think that's part of the reasons why I started losing interest in the research fields per se in business, because it's more of publish so you can get promoted. You understand?
Yeah.
Research so you could get promoted, or research so you could get a job there. That's not actually what drives my life. What drives my life is, how am I making the next person better? How is this information going to help this person? So if it's not helping people, it doesn't have a meaning for me, honestly. If it's not helping people, there's no meaning to it, and I don't get motivation for that. So money has never been my drive. And I'm saying this with all honesty, it's never been my drive. Do I want to be able to be comfortable? Yes, I want that, but the drive to teach, no. I remember I took a job in Nigeria just because I wanted to teach, and the salary was 20,000 naira. But I said, no, I want to teach. I like the fact that I'll be able to impact the students. And I got there and I got the job and I taught them for about a year. Yeah. And when I was going back to serve, I went back to the same school and I told them, I'm going to serve in your school. And I served with them for 1 year also. So I taught a high school student for 2 years
So you're saying like
because I wanted it.
before getting into a career, it shouldn't be money that should be on your mind. It should
Yeah.
be just trying to.
Oh, if you're asking me as a life advice, yes. Oh, never, never ever go into career because of money. Do it because you love it and because it's giving you that motivation itself. Because if you go in there for money, then you won't have a stable career. You will always be crossing over, because at every point, this world changes, you understand? Things change, trends change. So when the new trend comes up and that's what's making money, you're going to go there. So you're going to be a soccer eventually. You're just going to be a soccer. And if whatever is bringing money, that's what you're going to do. But never do career because of money. I would always say that. Do it because you enjoy it. There's a problem we have today where everybody wants to monetize everything. You understand? Oh, I'm good at this. Then all of a sudden you want to make money from it. And then the moment you start making money from it, the inspiration doesn't come anymore. The creativity is lost because money is the drive now. So you're under pressure. But if you're doing it because you're driven by the need, oh, people want this. You understand? Oh,
Yeah.
you want to help people, you want to do stuff. Honestly, you're not going to run out of creativity or inspiration. That's what I believe.
Oh, that's cool. You don't go to career because of money. I
Yeah,
think
oh,
that's a
I say
major
that all the time.
takeaway from
Yeah, yeah,
this episode. And maybe just
yeah.
what what do you think what do you think school did to play a part in like what you're doing now? Do you think school
A lot.
was really necessary? Okay.
Oh, a lot, a lot, a lot. A whole lot. I mean, people say things like, you don't really need school to make it. And that make it is always in context. You understand? And they quote people like, say, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out, Bill Gates dropped out. Really? Did you hear the schools they dropped out from? And none of them, even if they dropped out, and that's a percentage of the whole world's population. And even if these guys dropped out, they will still hire the best when they want to get people to run their companies. They would hire people who went to school. They would hire people who have bachelors or, so you can't say school is not important. School did a lot for me. I may have had the maybe inner drive or inner will or inner talent in talking with people, right? Or in being able to have personal relationship with people. But school defined it for me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Gave me the how tos, how to start this, how to go about this. And honestly, you cannot throw away all these things. You can throw away many of the science that we learned in school because it helps you. Now you're able to put a definition on it. Now you're able to strategize. And one thing school would help you to do is become a good strategist or strategizer, where people in the market will just have I have an idea, push it this, push it that, push it that way. But when you go to school, you tend to see a lot of people that have done it in different ways. You understand? And then you put them all together, and then you're able to see a bigger view. That's why most times those who go to school and learn the art of all these things are able to take advantage of those people who just had it as skills and never went to school. I take it anytime, any day. People who went to school will be able to play people who never had these ideas. They will be able to play them strategically. And then that's how people get locked out of their own ideas. You understand? People, get bought out of their own companies. Why? Because a smart guy who went to school understood the game better. So I think beyond all the mathematics we learned in school sharpens our analytical skills, our foresight skills, you understand? So you're able to see things from different angles. So it's not just about the 1+1=2. It's also about the parts of you that school awakens.
And it's been so great talking and chatting with you, Prof. So
Yeah.
maybe before you go, maybe a last advice. Like, let's say someone listening wants to get into content writing. What
Yeah.
advice do you think you can give the person to like go into it?
Read a lot, especially in the field. Read. If you want to go into content writing, honestly, you cannot produce content you don't read. Even I myself, I keep pushing myself. I have to read new things. So read a lot. The more you read, the more you'll be able to write. You would have writer's block when you don't read. So you read a lot content from different areas. It gives you ideas. It opens your creativity. And then maybe one day you're in the bathroom. You just get a eureka moment. Ooh, I have this idea. Why? It came from the wealth of knowledge that you've deposited in yourself.
Wow, incredible! Read a
Yeah.
lot. Read a lot. That's what
Yeah.
everyone keeps
Yep.
saying. So do you have any
Yeah.
like Instagram or Facebook or just to put yourself out there? Maybe people can reach you on LinkedIn or something. To
They can reach me on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is better because I like to
okay,
keep my Instagram and stuff personal to
okay,
myself.
okay,
But yeah, LinkedIn is better. Ridhwan Olaoke. I'm on LinkedIn, so you can reach me on
okay.
LinkedIn.
All right. So you can reach Prof on LinkedIn. Ridwan Olaoke. RID.
R
Uh,
HWAN.
uh-huh. Okay.
RIDHWANOLAOKE. Yeah.
Okay. That's it. So thank you all for staying and listening to today's show. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye.
Yes. Peace out.